Well, that's where we're starting from this morning, as well as from Markway.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. I have with me Yinusa Tanko, who is the chairman of the National Conscience Party. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
What do you make of this controversy?
Well, first of all, I was thinking at the time, I said, is this absolutely necessary? Then I now look at it again and I say, it seems to me it's democratic power versus military mentality in democratic setting. Now, why? Let me explain. When you see, look at the Senate. The Senate is trying to consolidate its power to say, this is the representative of the people. This house represents the interests of Nigerians. And so when we call you, Nigerian call you. And so you must answer to the question of Nigeria. And here you have an ex-military man, a well-behaved military man who comes from a big military background, who's trying to show that, yes, I've been a military man, and then here in this my own profession that I have learned, there are things that cannot go down well with me as a former military man. And so the posturing and the ego come in. But then people should remember that this is the democratic setting. The processes that brought him in the democratic setting must be understood. But the question is, as Senator Balana Allah said, that he said that there are laws that compel the Controller General to wear a uniform. And then Senator Okperen Madu also confirmed, he said Section 2 of the Custom Act compelled the Controller General to wear. I have not confirmed this. I'm trying to find out exactly if that Section 2 of that Electoral Act did compel the Controller General to wear.
Act, it has to be maybe the Customs.
The Custom Act.
Customs and Excise. I was laughing because you know you're a politician and chairman of National Conscience Party. You definitely be talking more about the Electoral Act.
Custom Act. Thank you for the correction.
So now we've seen that he's gone to the Senate without his uniform. And, you know, the main issue, which was what they had invited him for, seems to be taking the back seat.
Well, yeah, you know, ironically, Ahmad Ali, myself, Senator Shehu Sani, and Balaraba Musa worked hand in hand when we were fighting for bad governance in Kaduna.
Fighting against?
Yeah?
You're fighting against bad governance?
Bad governance, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, of course, during the Occupy Nigeria and the Labour, we are in forefront of the struggle. Then, and I looked at the situation. Here we have a government who's supposed to be, you know, pro-people. Some of the policies that they are making are very anti-people, I must say. When you look at the border, there were already new policies that stops the importation of vehicles and all the kind of businesses that take place in that. Many people have been benefiting from that particular border trade. Now, you did not provide them an alternative for survival. That border has already been closed. And when we were fighting at that time, it was a hike in fuel price, about 145 an hour. And today we are living in 100. So in all of this for me, is that the people have been reduced to the backdrop of this particular struggle. We have forgotten about the people. And so some of the policies that we are making must be in the interest of the Nigerian people. And I think that was the beginning of this particular problem that has to force him to whether wear uniform or no uniform. The posturing and the way in response to the National Assembly must have angered the National Assembly. And I thought there was a friend of mine who was telling me about one of the things that they teach military men, that the first thing they teach you in the military setting is deception. And probably that was instrumental to why you see them wear camouflage in the battle war. If it's had to do with leaves and all, you camouflage so that you can attack. Even if it's a desert, the camouflage look more like this. So all of this, you want to achieve an aim in satisfying and ensure that the system is clean. Then, if that should be the case, the focus must be that. Where there are needs for you to do some things in order to get to that particular place, do them so that you will not have this particular altercation that does not depict the kind of person that you are.
So you want him by next week to appear before the Senate
if he feels that he wants to achieve his aim by making sure he cleans the system, and if the laws are there, and probably this is the reason why I think people who take up offices do not really read the a kind of laws that govern their offices. They only assume offices and not reading. And probably this is a time in which anybody that is taking over a leadership of a position in any part should read what of the laws that guide him to work in that particular place.
Well, recall that he said he was seeking legal advice before, he appearing before the senators with the uniform or not wearing the uniform. He said he was going to seek legal advice, and then he came there in mufti, in his clothes, and he was asked why, and said there is no law compelling me. Do you think he was misadvised by his lawyers?
Well, there are two things in place here. Laws and probably been playing politics. He is now in a political setting, probably a politician. So you have to have that at the back of your mind. You are in a new setting now. So if the laws, you can look at the situation here. The Senate president, who he met earlier on, did not preside over his own issue. It was the deputy. They are playing their own game as politicians, and they are consolidating. I want to take him on. You have to play the game of politics. If you are in a political setting, play politics to get to where you want to get to. So if the lawyers have not advised him critically well on the actual situation, he has to use his own wisdom to get to where he wants to get.
Oh, Mr. Tanko, I'm afraid I have to interrupt you. We have to take a moment now. When we come back, we'll take a look at that matter and some others bringing up in the Senate. Do join us again.